Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into the Auburn Blitz. I'm Randy Lee alongside David Jones, and looking forward to catching up with him today. I think he is passionate about what he saw on the plains last night as Auburn loses that long winning streak in Neville Arena, and David's got stats to run down for you and some opinions to throw your way. But the phone lines will be open the entire hour of the program today. 256-234-6221 is our phone number if you've got comments on the game. If you'd like to talk about recruiting, anything going on in the world of Auburn athletics, please call in and let us know what's going through your mind. I'll start, David. It was a tough watch last night. It seemed out of sorts from the beginning. I thought effort-wise, defensively, we were really getting after it, but they were knocking down everything that they saw there in the first half. And, you know, moving into the second part of the basketball game, I thought we had our chances, even though it got a little bit away from us there in the first half, but we just never really made a good run there in the second half.
No, we didn't, and it was, I'll tell you, it's hats off to Buzz Williams and his staff. And of course, Taylor and, Radford and Taylor, 45 of their, 76 points. I mean, Radford was an assassin last night. He knocked down everything. But Randy, they out-rebounded us, and their points off turnovers was just killed us. I've got kind of a breakdown of what I thought from that's one of the great things about coaching never leaves you.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and so I was and just for the show now, Randy, because I'm not a glutton for punishment normally, but just for the show, I watched the game again last night and this morning. First half last night after we got back from Auburn, and my wife said, "Are you crazy?" But I just wanted to make sure that I was spot on. And I don't know, did you watch it on television?
I did, yes.
Did you notice in the first half when we were shooting on A&M's end, Buzz Williams was literally looking down at Bruce to get the call and then set his defense. He knew every one of our signals, every one of our calls. They knew what was coming.
Prepared.
Absolutely, great plan. And the other thing I mentioned to you before we went on the air, he obviously watched that Miami game from last year because they did a lot of the same things Larinaga did. Doubling, Wendell, off those high ball screens. We didn't handle those well. Bruce even said that after the game. But the other thing that they did, and the reason why people say, well, we jumped out to a 10-2 lead, what happened? Well, they pressured us in that half-court trap trying to shorten our shot clock. And we threw the ball over that pressure and got some easy shots right off the bat. And then Buzz said, oh, okay, plan B. And then they went to plan B, which was to trap us and back the defense off a little bit, make it hard on Janai, and hope we didn't hit a lot of our outside shots, and we did not.
Which is normal for us.
Yeah.
29% from three going into the game last night.
Yeah, and what were we, 7 for? What were we from three last night? I don't know. I hadn't got that page on my – oh, yeah, there it is. We were –
3 of 16, so 18% from 3 points.
18%. And, JJ said this yesterday on the show, don't foul them because they shoot a great free throw percentage, and look at that, 83% last night, 20 for 24. Exactly what JJ had said to Andy yesterday. Couple of other things, Randy, real quick. They spread us out with their offense, and we're just not very have you ever seen a guy make a three-point shot without the ball in his hands? I haven't.
No. Yeah, good point.
We're so conscious of that three-point possibility that we had guys last night hugging offensive players that should have been in the lane stopping some of those drives. But we're so scared of that three-point shot. But I've never seen a guy hit a three without the ball in his hand. you got to stop the ball first. And I think Bruce would agree with me. I think he was frustrated last night, but that's a player thing. You know, we're so conscious of a guy knocking a three down in our face that we just didn't do a good job with our help defense last night. The other thing, you know, there's good KD, and then there's his evil twin, bad KD. And guess who showed up last night? was bad KD. You know, he was out of control last night. Just didn't have a great game. 18 minutes, he had 5 points, but a silly foul there to end, some forced shots,
3 turnovers.
Yeah. Allen struggled a little bit last night, but I'm just going to tell you, I've rarely seen a team, Randy, and I've seen a lot of games in Neville Arena, even since Bruce has been at Auburn. I hadn't seen very many teams that came in like they did last night and just said, we're here, we're going to knock you around, we got a great plan, we're going to beat your rear end. And that's basically what they did.
They took the mentality of their head coach.
Absolutely.
And, I'm a big Buzz Williams fan.
Oh,
I have
too.
been for a long time.
Me
I
too,
think
brother.
a lot of people around the country, along as fans of college basketball in this conference, respect the way that he coaches and the way that he gets after it. Reminds me a lot of Bruce Pearl in that regard. When you're watching him coach, he's putting as much effort out over there coaching as the players are on the court, and I can appreciate that.
Got
David.
that towel.
He is.
Still wears the suit. His staff still. Randy, here's another funny thing about Buzz and them. I wouldn't call it disrespect, but it's kind of, last night, they didn't come out of the locker room until after the national anthem. I mean, they're announcing Texas A&M starting lineup, and they come out on the floor. Buzz doesn't even go over and speak to Bruce. He comes right across the floor. They get on their bench. And I said, that's the first time I've seen that in an SEC game where a team waited till after the national anthem. Their last 2-3 minutes of warm-ups that a lot of teams come out and take. Now, we're going to stay in the locker room till it's time to tip it off, and then we're going to tip it off.
Well, it's become an arena that's hard to win. Loud last night, tried to get into it, just didn't have much to get into there in the second half. But, maybe just changing things up a little bit. And, the guys that were calling the game said that Texas A&M and their players look so much more up compared to the Auburn players pregame, shoot around, all the things. And sometimes you can read into that, and other times there's not much to that. But they did make mention of that early in the basketball game when Texas A&M started coming back. And it kind of showed those guys had an edge about them last night. They did. From the start of the game until the end, going in the locker room at halftime, you could tell that they had a little edge about them, and they played that way.
How you like Ron Slay? I like his color commentary.
I like Ron Slay, period. I like the guys that they have doing color for the SEC Network in general. I think Fishback does a really good job.
Fish does a good job.
The Arkansas guy's name's escaping me now, but the sharpshooter,
Pat Bradley.
I think he has a great personality. I think their interaction
Ron's
when they're
fairly
there.
new, isn't he?
Ron is new. I think that was his first game doing color last night. But he's funny.
Yeah.
He brings, a big man mentality to the broadcast.
Oh, he loves the big guy,
and he talks about that. But he, to me, I've always said this. I appreciate a color guy that I don't like color guys just constantly drilling me on how much they know.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe you were an ex-player. Maybe you were an ex-coach. I get all that. I can appreciate that. Yeah. And I do want, when it's needed, that you add a little of that.
Yeah.
But how about having some personality?
Have some fun, yeah.
Bring some personality to the call. Let the play-by-play guy stay serious if he needs to. Let him give you the call, and then throw it to a color guy, and kind of like Don Meredith back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Dandy Don Meredith would be in the broadcast on Monday Night Football, and I don't think he gave a whole lot of good breakdown ever, but he was funny. He brought a little personality to it. Kenny Stabler. I love Kenny Stabler. Yeah. Stabler he just kind of won. He winged it when he was up there. You didn't know what was going to come out of his mouth, and I thought he was great when he did it. And not that I didn't like Stan. I really like Stan White at times too. He's a homer. He's a homer's homer as a color guy. But but I thought Ron Slay was really good.
I did too. And I, to your point about Neville, I watched Buzz's press conference earlier in the week, And he made, Buzz is pretty dry, during the press conferences, but he made mention of Neville. And he said, they do have the longest winning streak in the country right now. We know what we're going into. And don't we play them again?
We do,
in College
on the road,
Station?
yeah.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments we can make to
February
make
7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my birthday.
Yeah, February 7th, and it's going to be a big one. It'll be an ESPN2 game.
That's right, because Andy and I talked about that Monday. We got Texas A&M and Tennessee on the road.
Correct.
Then we come back home and play
Alabama,
number 2
Missouri.
Alabama.
Yeah.
So, and they got a scare last night. Kudos to them for pulling that one out. I mean, they were behind most of the ball game.
State's a tough, defensive-minded team. They can get after you. And
Jans is a great coach. When they hired him, I said, uh-oh, look out.
They will be. Yeah. But Auburn got away from their defensive philosophy last night, it felt like. And I know a lot of it is because Texas A&M just shot the ball as well as they did. But, Auburn only giving up 62 points per game going into the ball game, give up 79.
Yeah.
You look down at these shooting numbers. I mean, it's not like A&M shot the eyeballs out of it all night. I mean, they were 46% field goal. They ended up with did they have all 7 of those three-pointers in the first half?
6 of them, I believe.
6 of the 7 there in the first half. They're only 36% from 3.
They were 6 for 9 in the first half, Randy.
Okay, so they were 1 for 10 in the second half.
Yeah.
So that gave Auburn an opportunity. But here's the thing, and we can talk about it on the other side, David. It's hard to win basketball games you're not making shots.
Yeah.
And this Auburn team, it has its moments where it can find offensive output, but it's got a lot of moments where it's Wendell Green out there trying to make something happen when there's not much movement going on elsewhere. And him slinging up a 6 foot behind the three-point arc three-point shot, it's just ugly half-court basketball at times.
It is.
We're up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City. Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
No monthly payments for 90 days at Glenn Smith Buick GMC in Opelika. New GMC Sierra 4x4 crew cabs discounted up to $9,250 off. New GMC Acadias up to $6,250 off. And new Buick Enclaves up to $6,000 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Pretty clear there's some good teams in the SEC and there's some not so good teams in the SEC. And luckily for us so far, we have held our own against those bad teams and won those basketball games. We've had a nice opening schedule here in the SEC, but unfortunately we got some tough ones coming down the stretch. Auburn's able to win 2 or 3 more of these ball games and extend this thing out close to 10 conference wins for the season. Off what my eyes tell me right now, David, we better be pretty thankful about getting that because it's a good team, but it's not a great basketball team. This team's got some holes.
There's no question, Randy, and I said that to Andy Monday. You know, we got to be thankful for every one of these on the front end.
Agree.
Because let me tell you something. People look at West Virginia's record and they go, look, you going into that place, and Bob Huggins is coaching that team, they're going, it's a fist fight. And we hadn't done we didn't do very well with that fist fight last night. I mean, that was a physical ball game, Randy, because I'm sitting right up there in section 106, right above A&M's bench, right there on that end of the floor. And it's unbelievable. And of course, Ron Slay talked about, he calls it the boom boom room. Yeah. You know, the lane. I love that. God, it was physical last night, and we didn't handle it very well.
A&M very strong. You could tell they were up for the task last night. Yeah. Jerry, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hello, David and Andy. How are you guys doing?
Glad to have you, Jerry.
Good to talk to you guys. I got a couple of comments. One of them was you were speaking about color commentators, and I think Slade does a good job. He's funny. He's entertaining. It's a nice breath of fresh air, and it kind of y'all were speaking of some good ones in the past, and one that I always liked was the former coach of the Raiders and everything that I thought was so good and everything that was real entertaining in that aspect. And but the biggest thing speaking about Auburn basketball is I'm not one to criticize anybody or players because they're giving it all they got and they're college-age young men, and I'm an Auburn guy, and I just ain't going to hardly, well, I'm not going to sit there and criticize people out in the public. I can talk about it and kind of analyze and give my opinion and everything, but the only thing I say to that is in the future, I'm looking forward to a roster upgrade where we could score points and stuff. In this day and time, you got to be able to score the basket, and we're hurting in that area, and it's pretty obvious, and I'm just looking forward in the future to some roster upgrades, and I'll hang up and listen to what you guys have to say. Thank you for taking my call, War Eagle.
War Eagle to you, Jerry. I think you said a mouthful there. I can't agree with you more. I mean, the problem right now that I see with this Auburn team is the discussion that David and I had during the break. Traore doesn't see the court last night. And he did score 8 points in the previous game, but we've seen also enough of him this year to know that he's not going to quite hit the level of expectation that we had hoped for.
No, he's not.
And David, also said during the break, is Westry just going to be out the remainder of the season?
Obviously.
Kind of looks that way. And, what we were sold and what had always been said about him in high school ranks, how well he shot the basketball from the perimeter.
Yeah.
A sharp shooting player that this team really needed. And, leading into this season, the talks that we heard was he was going to bring that, and Traore was going to bring a big physical guy that can step out on the perimeter and knock down shots as well.
Which he did at South Carolina.
He did.
But that's it.
And unfortunately, that just hasn't played out. We can't say enough good things about Bruce Pearl and his recruiting efforts. But, boy, I'm with Jerry. We have had some sharp shooters in the past, and it feels like this offensive unit led by Bruce Pearl is a lot better when we can shoot the ball well from the perimeter.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and Jerry's very nice. He didn't mention any names. And the only reason I have to be very careful what I say about KD, because my wife loves KD Johnson.
Yeah.
We went to Starkville last year, and we're in the same restaurant as the team. And she could not wait to get over there and get her picture made with KD. She loves KD. And he brings us so much energy. But, Bruce even said, you got to take the good with the bad with KD. KD is who he is. He's a maniac, and he's my maniac. And I get that. But, and Randy, I'm a little, what's the word, confused. I don't think that Bruce Pearl goes out and recruits a bunch of non-shooters. I mean, I've watched these guys in practice, and they stand out there and just, have to change the nets after practice because they've worn them out in their shooting drills. I think it's more of us still getting to know one another, still figuring out what the right shots are for the guys that are on the floor. Andy and I talked about chemistry. The magic bullet is he talked about Allen accepting his role. And why that's one of the reasons Allen's a lot better now. That's part of the deal is understanding what you can do. But here's what Buzz Williams said this is how prepared they are. He was talking to the guy, and the guy said, Buzz personally passes the basketball to his shooters at practice every day. And he talked about how many times he passes the ball in a week to his players. And he said, when my guys shoot the shots that we want them to shoot, which is what we shoot in practice, we're pretty dang good. He said, when my guys shoot shots that they're not supposed to shoot, we're not as good. We need to be shooting the shots that Bruce Pearl wants us to shoot and getting us in position to make those shots.
I think a little bit of the issue that I've seen over the last couple of years, though, is when that first initial surge, whatever the call is on the half-court set, it doesn't feel like a full-blown motion. It feels like if the first 12 to 15 seconds doesn't come together and we don't get the ball where we're looking for, at that point it's a two-man game with two guards up top trying to create. And a lot of times that ends up being Wendell Green shooting the ball from 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point arc. And he's the only one who can get a shot. So I'm not knocking him, but you agree with that,
You're
David?
spot on, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Bruce's philosophy. Is more of a set play type of guy, not motion, not a lot of player movement. I was different when I coached. We ran some continuity stuff. And the traps last night.
Yeah.
Took us totally out of what we wanted to do offensively, and they knew that.
They kept throwing big bodies at Wendell up top, and he couldn't get the shots that he was looking for.
Yep.
So, hey, tip your hat, Buzz Williams, one of the best coaches out there, and A&M's going to be a tough out for him.
No question.
This year. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin-lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
256-234-6221 is our phone number. Love to hear from you out there. If you've got comments on the game last night or anything going on in the world of Auburn athletics, a couple of comments coming through on Facebook. And, again, find us on all the viable social media outlets out there. You can find our Sportz Blitz programming and our Auburn Blitz programming and comment away on those. Mike asking how Andy's doing. Andy's just a little under the weather. We hope to have him back shortly. He'll be up here to lead. So David and I filling in, but hoping Andy's feeling a little bit better soon. Luke said every coach has a nemesis, David, and that gives them trouble. Bruce Pearl seems to be buzzed.
He's 4-1 against us.
Yeah, I can't deny it right now. And defensively, making it really tough on Auburn.
Yeah.
It's a game they better forget what Jamie's saying, now inspire each other, because here on out it really gets tough. You and I were just talking about that during the break. We're 6-2 in conference. The next home game is against Georgia, which you really need to win. and looking down the remainder of the schedule, and I'll run that down real quick. Next game up on the road, West Virginia.
Not a cakewalk.
No, then we got Georgia at home on February the 1st. February the 4th, we're on the road at Tennessee. Then on the road at Texas A&M. Get Alabama back at Neville Arena on February the 11th. Missouri at home February 14th. On the road at Vandy on February the 18th, and then back at home against Ole Miss on February the 22nd. So you look down through there, and I keep saying that I don't know if it's a magic number, but I'd be really happy if this team got to 10 conference wins, David.
Yeah, absolutely. And Randy, I think we'll get Georgia. We should. At Tennessee and at A&M and Alabama at home are going to be tough, and I feel pretty good about the last three. Missouri at Vanderbilt. Oh, Vanderbilt's up and down. They've played some good games. But I agree with you. And with what I mentioned this to you during the break, and I'm just going to say it again. We've kind of gotten spoiled. You know, we had the great lightning in a bottle team with Kessler and Jabari, and then before that, Bryce Brown, Jared Harper, and that crew Final Four team. Man, we just need to get behind these guys and pull them through, because this season's, you know, it's not what we have been used to the past few years, and that happens. But
still a great record so far,
Oh,
16-4. You got everything in front of you.
Yep.
If you could win one of those three really tough games there in the middle of this schedule that we've got remaining, which is Tennessee at A&M and then at home against Alabama. If you win any of those, I feel pretty confident Auburn's got a chance to get to those 10 wins. So sneaking a win in any of those three. And look, Auburn's been great. Wherever we've played Tennessee, Bruce Pearl seems to have their number too. So we need that to continue. And that would be maybe one of those three that Auburn would stand the best chance. But there's some bad teams. Let's don't kid ourselves. There's some not so good teams in the SEC, one being LSU. Arkansas defeats them on Tuesday night 60-40. Got Missouri takes down Ole Miss 89-77. Kentucky picks up another victory against Vandy 69-53. So Auburn with two of those losers left on the schedule when you're talking about Ole Miss and Vandy. And then last night you had South Carolina going down to Florida 81-60. Tennessee just thumping Georgia 70-41. Auburn again losers 79-63, and Alabama comes back late to win that basketball game against Mississippi State 66-63. So, you know, several of those teams that we've got left on the schedule got beat pretty badly last night. We need them to keep playing like that.
Yeah, that Georgia, because, you know, Mike White's done a good job at Athens so far, and, man, that one surprised me. They just got thumped. I wish we had South Carolina on the schedule again.
I do too. Yeah, I got a few more. I wish we had LSU.
You know, Randy, they come out and beat Arkansas.
Yeah.
I think first SEC game, and everybody goes, "Man, look, watch this team," and it
way down since then. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz?
Hey, how you doing?
We're good. Glad to have you.
I got a couple of things. Number one, is the team going to be any better next year? Do we have any scholarships that we can go out and get 4 or 5 guys? Because we're not skilled guys. Just be honest, we can't break the defense down. Nobody but Wendell Green. He ain't but about 5'5", and you just stand in front of him. Jasper ain't giving you nothing. He just standing over there on the side at 5'5". So I am surprised that Bruce was always winning, got 6'6" guys, 6'7" guys, trim guys, jumpers, runners. And all of a sudden now he going to little small, not all of a sudden, but he get these little small guards. And even next year from the recruiting we got, some kid coming in from California, he ain't about 5'5". You got 3 guys out there playing at 5'5". That's, for me, that's not going to get it. But my thing and my question for this is, are we going to be any better next year? I mean, Bruce, my man now. Don't get me wrong. We ain't talking about running him off and that like that. But does he not see this? And that you got to get some skilled basketball players. But, Randy, I got something for you.
All right, James.
All right. Now, I got this from reliable sources. I kidded Brett last week. TJ Finley is going to get a fair shake at the quarterback position being told from Hugh Freeze. And remember, he done beat out Robert Ashford before. So he going Hugh Freeze loves his arm talent. That's what he told him. He gonna get a fair shake at the quarterback position. Now, if he beat Robert Ashford, I kidded Brett last week that I laughed about it. But if he beat Robert Ashford out again, TJ may wind up being your quarterback. And then here go the other nugget that my source at Auburn that's in the NIL told me. The $15 or $13 million that we supposed to have in NIL, we don't have it. The money been pledged, but the money has never been given. So we don't have no big, huge NIL thing going on over there right now until they actually give you the money. And I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thank you, James. You got two things there. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll hit on both of those when we start up this next segment. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
WAXC TV3's Basketball Game of the Week is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC on the Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Catch game replays on WAXC TV3 and on our Roku app. Games replay Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. and also Saturday and Sunday at 6:30. Catch the replays of these games airing now from Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika and WAXC TV3.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogrooom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Couple of phone calls to get to as we start this segment. Back to the phone lines. James, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys, this is just going to be real quick. And maybe, and Coach, I know you can't say nothing because you over there with the team. And me and Randy and them, I guess we can. The team is not constructed good this time for Bruce. And I'm going to just be honest with you. Jalen Williams is not no 4 or 5 star. You get nothing out of the kid from Flanagan, and the coach hates to say something because the dad on the staff, I think. You got the little small guards that Bruce getting what he loves. My point is this here. I guess it's me, because I'm one of these coaches that I saw what Bruce did at Tennessee. He loved the 6'6", 6'7" guy all through his lineup. And I can't believe he's switching from that to what we're doing now. And that he remind me of Gus Malzahn winning with Cam Newton and Nick Marshall, and then all of a sudden he want to go to passing. He would go to Sean White and Jeremy Johnson. You know. But anyway, I guess it's me because I'm one of these people, and maybe I'm bad in my thought, in my process. Because if I'm a coach, and the way I see my team now, being constructive, I don't believe in small guards. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want no 5'5" players on my – I'll take one, but I don't want no small guards on my team. In football, I don't want no 6-foot defensive lineman on my team. So maybe it's me, and maybe that's the way I construct my team that way. But maybe it's just me. I'm going to get me a bunch of shooters. I'd rather have shooters than defense on basketball. But for football, I don't want no defensive lineman 6 foot tall, 5'11". So I'm sorry. Maybe it's me, and y'all can call me out. Thank you.
Thank you, James. We appreciate it. Let's hit on James real quick, and then we'll go to the phone line.
I don't totally disagree with what James is saying about a plethora of guards that are short. Yeah, now one, you know, I begged Murray Bartow at UAB to sign Darrell Wilson from South Lamar back in the day, and Murray said, I just think he's too short, and he ends up being all SEC. So, you know, you can't measure heart, James. But bottom line is, regardless of the height, we're just not shooting the basketball very well this season. All of them that he named. Jalen could shoot better. Allen's come on now and shooting a little better. But our small guards, Wendell, KD, Zepp, when you get that open shot, you got to knock it down, and we hadn't been doing that.
And Zepp's, he's just not an offensive.
He's a defensive specialist.
He is.
When he's on the floor, his guy's not going to score, and you got to love that. But he doesn't give us a whole lot on the offensive side.
And we'll go back to James' other comment after this phone call. Terry, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are y'all?
Glad to have you, Terry.
Hey, guys, Coach David, is it too much to say that maybe Bruce Pearl expected too much out of Westry and Trayor coming in this year? Because they haven't worked out.
Yeah, hard to say. I talked to Coach about Trayor at a Tiger Talk over at Victory Grill, and I said, I love the kid. He said, man, I love him too. He's just hadn't come along like we had quite expected. So, yeah, and you've talked about this before. You hate to think that you missed on somebody, and I'm still not saying that we missed on Johan. Hopefully he'll develop into what we need him to do. But I think the thing on Chance Westry is, Terry, I feel like he's just not physically he was too good of a shooter with our problems for us not to have him on the floor if he's healthy. Don't you agree with that, Randy?
Agree.
And so I think that he is still physically not able, or they're just holding him out, going to redshirt him or whatever.
And I heard James keep mentioning Wendell Green's 5'5". Well, Wendell Green is not 5'5". He's 5'9", 5'10", which is still too short, but he's not 5'5". Okay.
Well, we don't have anybody 5'5" on the roster, that's for sure.
Can we please get off the T.J. Finley garbage? T.J. Finley is not going to be the quarterback at Auburn, nor should he be. Okay, they may give him a shot. They may give him his opportunity. I personally think he's going to be gone after the spring. A little surprised he's still there. The guy cannot be successful. Just something happens to that young man when he gets between the lines. You know, look like Tarzan, play like Jane type thing. You guys have seen this. You guys have heard this. We need to leave that alone. If the program is to move forward, then why is Hugh Freeze out pursuing another quarterback? And why is some prominent people who are very close to the program saying Auburn is definitely going to sign another quarterback? So I just wish people would get off that issue of T.J. Finley. He's not a good quarterback. He's kind of like you were saying, Coach David, with Yohan Traylor. He was great at the high school level because he was just bigger than everybody.
You know, here's where I am on the quarterback question. You know, I've seen enough from TJ to not think that he's the answer there. Yeah. So
two places, Randy.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But there's no part of me that doesn't think Hugh Freeze has got somebody picked out there that he's interested in, and we're going to bring another quarterback in. I love if Robbie ends up being the quarterback and he gets him a little bit more accurate, I think Robbie's got all the goods to be a super quarterback at Auburn. And I'm good with buying in, but there's no part of me, and what are your thoughts, Terry and David? There's no part of me that doesn't think that there's someone picked out. Could be the Coastal Carolina. You and I talked about that during the break. Yeah. There could be some, there was some grade questions there, or some things going on that maybe graduation cures. Yeah. But I feel like there's somebody out there.
Well, I do believe that Robbie Ashford has all the tools to be great, but I do think he could stand a redshirt year and learn.
Well, Terry,
and a guy that's played for 4 years at the place as a starter, he is not coming to Auburn and sitting on the bench. It's not happening.
Well, that's why I think it's too early for us to tell what Freeze has up his sleeve for that next quarterback. Here's my take on Finley, and I'll put it to bed. He couldn't leave at this point because he would have had to sit out a year. He's going to graduate in May, and I fully expect him to be in the portal right at graduation time. That's just what I think is going to happen.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Terry. Go ahead and take another break here on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey guys, this is Nate Pass with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online, and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Last segment here on the Auburn Blitz, had several phone calls come through, David, and been talking a little different for this program a lot. Most of the time, Brett and I are up here blabbing our mouth off on football, and Andy's trying to get us back on track and away from football.
Hard to get away from that, isn't it?
But we haven't talked football really at all on the program today, and I think a lot of that revolves around what we saw on the court last night. But I will try to spin it over real quick and talk some football. And the effort that we're getting from Hugh Freeze seems tremendous. The social media outlets are really touting how many coaches we have out. I saw that he was over in Phoenix City this morning and meeting with Pat Nix and that staff and all the athletes that we see at Phoenix City. It's just a breath of fresh air, David, to see somebody getting after it like he and his staff seem to be doing.
And Randy, that's exactly right. And I know you'll amen this, because you and Brett, of course, were just adamant about how poor we were last year with that incredible class.
Yes.
And how out of the loop we were with those kids. And I heard Jason Caldwell even say, maybe not 2024, but 2025, or maybe not 2023, 24.
Next year's junior class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could be another one of those holy cow classes. And
led by Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
Also led by the quarterback that's throwing to him.
Yes.
Both in for junior day at Auburn.
That's right.
Both of those guys.
That's right. And Ryan already committed to Alabama, but a legacy at Auburn. It's just incredible. You know, we got to have a guy. Yeah, I mean, Auburn could used to go into Mobile and get guys.
Yeah.
You know, a lot. And we're back out again. Where the high school coaches fully expect. I've seen on Coach Freeze's Twitter every day, he's got a picture with him and a high school coach in our state somewhere. Almost every single day that he can be out recruiting.
Well, we talked about it on Saturday, and Auburn had has 20 guys coming in. Now, some are even younger, 4 from Anniston, 2 from Andalusia, a couple of these programs that are starting to really produce athletes here in the state of Alabama. It's not that they haven't produced them, but they're starting to produce them even more. But out of those 20, 19 of them here in the state of Alabama that we highlighted this past weekend. And that means a lot to me, David, because if you're going to have, like this past year, where you got 25 to 30 marginal 4-star to 5-star athletes in this state, and you don't get 10 of those, because Alabama's, how many is Alabama going to get? How many players in the state of Alabama is Alabama really want and are willing to get year in and year out? 6 or 7 at the most.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a fair number?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to end up with 25 here in the state of Alabama, I mean, Auburn needs to go get 6 or 7 themselves.
We need to be right up there with them.
And we just haven't been there.
Hadn't been.
And I truly believe it's because of a lack of effort from Harsin and his staff of getting out there and building relationships in the state.
Well, that's the key, Randy, building relationships. You know, when a kid, and there again, I'll take the brunt of my being on the Harsin train for a little bit too long. I was trying to be an Auburn fan, and now that I know what I know, I must have bumped my head. But when a recruit, a highly regarded recruit, comes to Auburn and says, I wanted to meet Coach Harsin, but I never met him. On an Auburn recruiting trip, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, and how about the Seaborn kid coming to Auburn?
Seaborn,
the 8th grader from Thompson.
Great quarterback. You know, from that same family lineage from Hawaii, and he's a super one. Look, to see what we called there in the championship game with him and some of the throws that he made as an 8th grader.
I was on the sideline too, brother. They were unbelievable.
They couldn't throw him any better, and you know, he's got some growing to do, but he's got a lot of programs that already want him. I think he's already got an Ole Miss offer, too. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
Lane Kiffin wants him. I think that he sees something. I suspect just about everybody's going to want him before it's all said and done.
Yeah, by his sophomore year, it'll be ridiculous what his offer.
Well, he's also with a head coach, and you coached down there in that neck of the woods when
I grew up with Mark.
Okay, so you grew up with Mark too, and so you know Mark. I didn't realize that.
He coached at Gulf Shores with us for 2 years.
See, I didn't realize. Mark's got as good an offensive mind as anyone does.
Incredible.
Yeah. Here's a couple of times that I was the most impressed with Freeman. We went through a stretch where we had really good teams here at Benjamin Russell, and we ended up at Spanish Fort. Well, one of those years we ended up down there at Spanish Fort. You know, they had a great quarterback. I think his last name was Poe, and he's throwing the ball all over the field. Well, the next year, Tyler Johnston was going to be one of the quarterbacks, and Tyler had gotten hurt. Well, they needed to play a different style, and so they moved the best athlete on the team, who was a receiver, back to quarterback, snapped him to football. And it was harder to play him then than it was with Johnston in at quarterback, who I don't think ever lost a football game as a starter in high school. And
Randy, it's hard enough to go to the Hill at Spanish Fort. I mean,
it's a tough place to play.
It's a tough place to play. Mark is – you know, Mark can stand on the sidelines, look at a defense, and change the play and call it. And he has so many options off of his plays. They're almost fail-proof. I mean, it's incredible what he does. He was a great athlete himself growing up. He's younger than me, but we grew up in the same city in Fairfield. And you know, a lot of his kids have gone to Alabama. I'm not saying that he pushes them there, but, you know, he's an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
He is. But Mark's smart enough to know when a coach really cares and wants to build relationships. Because Mark's a relationship guy. He's a guy of faith, you know. And I'm quite sure that Hugh Freeze coming in, introducing himself to Mark and endearing himself to that program, I think we'll get some of those kids from Thompson.
I agree.
And other places
I agree
in the
with
near
you.
future.
Because there are ones that Auburn's got to start beating Alabama at times. Can't lose all the time.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to. But we also got to beat Georgia. And, you know, I've got to tip my hat. You know, I can tell you one thing. It doesn't take, and you're being an old coach, it doesn't take too many times for a coach to come in your gym or to show up in your school before your school endears themselves with that coach. And, you know, Kirby Smart's willingness to come over to Benjamin Russell this past week be in our gym. Yes, he was there to watch a linebacker from Chilton County, and yes, he was probably there to check out Malcolm Simmons and Sedarian Morgan and a few others that Elliott City has got. But just the seeing of the coaches, them being there goes a long way.
That's a crux of recruiting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely does. We appreciate all of you tuning in. I'll be up here with Brett tomorrow. For David Jones, I'm Randy Lee saying thanks for tuning in to the Auburn Blitz.